What's up, guys? Your boys are back. I'm Ryan, my man George.
Yeah, we're shaking, guys. How you living out there? Shout out to the free thinkers, of course. Shout out to everybody that's been following us on Def the Radio, our Instagram. DEAF2 Radio is our Instagram. Make sure you guys follow us there.
And as always, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Make sure it's set to all so you get all our videos as they drop. But before we get into it, guys, shout out to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video, man. For those of you that are not familiar with BetterHelp, BetterHelp is an online mental health platform that helps people with maybe counseling or therapy sessions, whatever you want to talk about. You can either do it online or you could do it via text message, which is really cool because it's really accessible that way. And, you know, it keeps private conversations private. I believe that I can benefit from it as well, man. I believe therapy can help me with some underlying causes as it pertains to financial failure, you know what I mean? Or fear of financial failure, you know? Because I've talked about that a lot on the channel, guys, about getting money and how, you know, being successful and all those things. And it's very important to me, man. And I assume it's because of my past experiences with financial hardship. I grew up poor. You know, I didn't have a lot of money. So understanding those root causes, man, can probably give me some insight so I can move past it. You know what I mean? And really get past those underlying issues, you
Love
know?
it.
All right, George, so your turn.
Let's get to the video.
Your turn to share, sir.
See, I'm a closed book, man. That's what I could use therapy for. No, in all seriousness, man, I've always struggled with forgiveness. I tend to take it really hard when I'm mistreated in any way or slighted in any way because I tend to love hard and I show a lot of love and respect for people who are sort of within my circumference. So when I'm wronged in some way, it just sort of hits me that much more. Yeah. So I feel like I could see a therapist to sort of help me with being a bit more compassionate, maybe putting myself in someone else's shoes to understand at least their perspective and at least being open to the idea of, you know, maybe rebuilding relationships.
So if you guys struggle with similar issues or something different, maybe, you know, we would strongly recommend BetterHelp, man. You know, it makes starting super simple, man, and easy, and it's less intimidating. You know, at least that's how it is for me. So from there, guys, you'll do a brief questionnaire right on your phone or laptop. They'll match you with a licensed therapist trained to listen and offer helpful, unbiased guidance. You can message, call, video chat, you know, a therapist from the comforts of your home, and you can request a new therapist at any time. That's a big thing at no additional cost. So again, guys, we strongly recommend BetterHelp. Make sure you check out our link in the description. It is betterhelp.com/Lost in Vegas. You'll get 10% off your first month of therapy because investing in understanding yourself is worth it. So we getting into red leather, man. Future Metro Boomin, man. We still don't trust you.
Featuring J. Fold, though? That's where we at, y'all?
J. Fold.
That's where we at. Y'all call him my man J. Fold, man. Oh man, let's get we gonna get to the song, but maybe we need to talk just a little. Maybe we'll get y'all a little taste because yeah, I got some things to talk about. Let's get into it, man. This is off the We Still Don't Trust You album that just dropped I think last night, you know, and obviously the J. Cole feature. We wouldn't have known about it, but you guys blew us up to do it. Yep. And apparently on this album, you know, everybody's dissing Drake. Apparently, A$AP Rocky, The Weeknd. I just want to catch y'all up to let y'all know that we're trying to catch up. A$AP Rocky, The Weeknd, I guess, is dissing Drake. Obviously, we know that Rick Ross unfollowed Drake, and then Nav unfollowed Drake, and now J. Cole's on this song, so I guess everyone's saying that that's J. Cole's way of, like, leaving Team Drake and all this other shit, which we'll talk about, but I just want to let y'all know that we kind of see it, you know what I mean? I've been on X and all that shit trying to kind of catch up and keep up with what's going on, so let's get into the song, but a lot of drama. Future Metro Boomin featuring J. Cole, Red Leather.
So you think I ain't gonna speak from my heart, you know what I'm saying? I want 1,000. Yeah. I done turned a dancer to a trophy. I done bought rings like Kobe. Never sent a tweet with emotions, She heard I said lean, she got emotional. Codeine got my heart like opium. I can feel her heart beating when I'm hugging her. Take me back to Kingston to see my ancestors. Pissing on your grave and some red leather. Turbo pound of murder seats, bird feathers. Keep lying on me like Carmelo. Don't lie to me, I'm on God levels. Forever's not long enough. If it's endless, what we done? Either you're a rebel or what we done. Toast, codeine, trap stars, what we doing? A few remain nameless, deserve my dedication. I just want my movement like Larry Davis. Came from Amsterdam, had my head up. Screenshot bitches got me fed up. Playing with the wifey green like a silty. She ain't tryna shop me, she thinking selfish. I just bought my young bitch from New Rosellas. Went to Tokyo, I had to hit the ghetto. Like the kicker with her cause she plays soccer. Enter to some goals, nigga.
You know, I am very close to fast forwarding to J. Cole's verse, man. I'm looking at this song, bruh. How long is this shit, Ryan?
6 minutes.
6 minutes and 56 seconds.
Like,
is there a beat change? Is there something happening that's crazy that's gonna happen before J. Cole's verse? Because do we even need to listen to this shit any longer? Because yeah, this is rough, guys.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's brutal. When he started singing it, that's what I was like, yeah, this is gonna be brutal. Yeah, that's gonna be brutal. You know what I mean? But that just goes to show you, man, when you got money, you can do the fuck you want to do, man.
Yeah.
It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? You can do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Future's cool,
you know
man.
what I'm
It's
saying?
cool. It's cool to like Future, man. No matter what he does. You know what I'm saying?
She ain't tryna shop me, she thinking selfish. I just bought my young bitch from New Rosellas. Went to Tokyo, I had to hit the ghetto. Like the kicker with her cause she plays soccer. Enter to some goals, nigga, no some robbers. No, she want that Bentiaga and it's obvious. Real patience for them big faces and I got it. Still faded from the last night off Miley. The ones work at Magic, work at Violence. I just left aunts and called a body. Fuck your wife at the back of King of Diamonds. Turn me on, you kept on a diamond. Leave me all alone, I'm throwing a party. I'm gonna have commitment in this world of sin. Try my best to love you in this world we in. Take another look at every foreign I'm in. End up with the bitches that I started with.
Let me speed this up. Okay, let's see if there's anything else. Let's look at the lyrics here. Must have been on a pill when I recorded this. Yep, that's pretty common. Had the stick in my hand while I was typing. I know I'm arrogant, but don't be trifling. I'm iced out. You got iced out again. Yep, Magic City, right? You know what I'm saying? Bitch better Chanel trench coat, right? Yep.
The reason why I like Future, man, it's typically how he delivers certain lines and certain choruses and the beats. At this point, the beat is really, really simplistic to me. And the way he's approaching it is not anything special. You know, he's not adding any value to this beat at all. You know what I mean? So it really highlights that, you just like, I don't know if this is hitting, bruh.
Yeah, because it highlights, because if he's not saying it in a fly way and the beat's not crazy, now I have to focus on the lyrics. And when you have to focus on the lyrics with Future, you're usually gonna run into to some roadblocks. I'm gonna keep it real. You're gonna run into some roadblocks. Not to say that Future don't have slick lines. We're not saying that. But he is not an artist that can carry a song lyrically. So let's go ahead and fast forward and make a lot of people mad. Let's get to what you guys have wanted us to talk about and get to, is this J. Cole verse. Let's just get right to it, man. I don't even want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, just
do my man like that. I don't even want to do my man like that.
Pluto got 20 girlfriends, damn, I'm doing it wrong. Cut off all my hoes, now I'm only putting you on a song. Day one, shawty been with me from the playground. Hey now, maybe that's the reason I was playing around. Running like a chicken with his head cut off. Through the streets with a freaks, love the red leather on my shoulder blades. In my older age, see the error of my ways, but I'm still not totally over all the temptation. Why the sin give you all the sensation? Yeah, I'm with Future up and honest, just wasting a lot of money on the stripper education. Through so much paper that we causing inflation. Now it's late and I'm getting impatient.
All this money in the air.
Causing inflation out here, J. Cole?
Hell yeah. What do you say? Why does sin give you all this sensation? You know what I'm saying? Throwing all his money to strippers education, you know what I'm saying? And that's what he had the inflation line, you know what I'm saying? Throwing so much paper, we causing inflation. We are not contributing to for the market to deflate, right? For inflation to stop the current rate of inflation. We are increasing that shit because we're throwing so much money out there, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir. A lot of pink Range Rovers being financed off that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Future up and honest, just wasting a lot of money on the stripper education. Through so much paper that we causing inflation. Now it's late and I'm getting impatient. Might run a train on a bitch Penn Station. Now I'm playing, I'm just late, getting wasted. And she was spinning my head, she wanna taste it. Damn, you making it hard for me. But I'm staying strong, I got authority. willpower. When I double baddie, I feel power. Me and Astro, 6'4", we the twin towers, twin Glocks with the switch piece that extends shots. It's a metaphor for the boy when you in proximity. I can't stop right now, they gon' remember me forever. My stories more clever, my similes was better. My energy was never on some toughest nigga shit. I was just a conscious rapper that would fuck a nigga bitch. I was just a college nigga from a rougher premises. Kept my nose out the streets, but I love to get a whiff for the action. With risk comes attraction. The blicks get the blast, and I turn into a track star. Wanted all the hoes, what the fuck you think I rap for? I've been trying to sing the same word since Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Running through the field in my Tim's stuck in now. We young Metro in the Ville, bitches incoming. Copping all this liquor for the hoe, like we make love and thinking to myself, yeah, I really do it one woman. I think so, but it's hard when you with your dogs at the freak show. Thinking I can bag Ruby Rose with a keystroke. Ego, ask yourself, is that gonna bring you peace though?
Okay. Message.
Forever's not long enough. If it's endless, what we done.
The song in its totality, I didn't really like, man, to be honest with you. I just thought this was just something that they kind of just, it sounds like something that they kind of just threw together. But there's times that songs that I absolutely heard that I hated that fucking blew the hell up. Case in point is Nelly's Country Grammar. Country Grammar was like a huge fucking song. But if you listen to that shit, I'm going down, down, baby, yo, street in a Range Rover, shimmy, shimmy, Cocoa Puff. That's some bullshit. I was like, this is going to be horrible. This shit ain't going to do nothing. I was like, that shit is awful. Get that the fuck all the way out of here. And that blew the fuck up. It could just blow up and be fucking hot than a motherfucker. So there was a couple lines from J. Cole that I really liked, man. I really liked when he said he was a college dude from a rougher side of town. I think he said rougher premises. And he said, I kept my nose out of the streets, but I always get a whiff of the action. With risk comes attraction. Love that line right there, man. Because it means to me that he grew up around bullshit. He grew up in the freaking hard neighborhoods that's got drugs and gangs and all this other stuff, but he kept a clear divide to keep his nose clean. When somebody said they keep their nose clean, they didn't get caught up in things that could possibly bring them or take them down the wrong path. You know what I'm saying? But he always wanted to get a whiff of the action, because it's, in the way I'm taking that is, when you grow up in these parts, when I growing up in Southside Chicago, I was no gangbanger, I was no drug dealer, but you still had friends that got busy, that still was doing those things, and they still your boys, but you still in proximity to the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And that is attractive. The bullshit is attractive, guys. I mean, I like shoot 'em up, bang bang movies. I like freaking Mayor of Kingstown. I've been watching that lately, and that shit is off the chain. So I love the bullshit, but I don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't want to deal with the consequences.
I don't want to partake in it. You know what I'm saying? Because there's risk to that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I love that he said that, because there is a natural attraction to drama. There really is. I think he said blicks, but guns start to blast, and he's all turned into a track star. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I don't want none of that. None of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Wanted all the hoes. What you think I rap for? You know, I love how
he's the conscious dude that'll smash a chick. That's all I want.
Yeah.
I just want to rap and, handle business. That's it.
So I enjoyed that line a lot, man. Even though I didn't really enjoy the song in its totality, but I really, really liked that he said that.
I don't want to read too deeply into it, but he was saying in here that he was just like, I can't stop right now. They gonna remember me forever. My stories more clever. My similes was better. My energy was never. So my stories more clever. My similes was better. My energy was never on some toughest dude shit. So he's talking like it's in the past tense. And I don't know if that's indication of something, or if that's just him generally just saying, and just if he had to sum up his career and what's happened, he was the guy, but he's nowhere near finished, but just kind of summing up his career. But I thought that was interesting when he said, I was never on the tough guy tip. My stories were better, was better. So I don't know if there's anything to it, but I at least wanted to point that out, because I'm like, yeah, is he really about to be up out of here? I don't know. But I've been trying to slang the same wood since Hacksaw Jim Duggan, running through the Ville in my Tim Stuggin, right? Hacksaw, he's talking about slinging the same wood. He's saying, he's sexually slinging his wood. He's been slinging that same wood for a while, but he's also referencing Hacksaw Jim Duggan, a wrestler that had a 2x4, if I'm not mistaken. He would crack dudes over the head with a 2x4. So I thought that was an amusing line. Then he said, copping all this liquor for these hoes like McLovin. You know what I'm saying? He said, I'm with Young Metro on the VIP, copping all this liquor for these hoes like McLovin. If you saw the movie Superbad, the character McLovin, the whole idea was to get drinks to go, to bring to the party so they can look like the cool guys, right? So they can get the hoes. So obviously getting the liquor in the VIP section in the club to get the hoes to come. So he's drawing that parallel. Then he said, thinking to myself, could I really be with one woman? I think so, but it's hard when you're with your dogs at the freak show. Thinking I can bag Ruby Rose with a keystroke. Ego, ask yourself, is this going to bring you peace though? So J. Cole, right? At the beginning of the verse, he's talking about Pluto got 20 girlfriends. Future has 20 girlfriends. Shit, I'm doing it wrong, right? And then he says, I cut off all my old hoes, and I'm only putting you in a song. So he's kind of going back and forth with wrestling with the struggle sometimes, it seems like, of temptation, right? Future's in a strip club, got 20 girlfriends, and he's like, yeah, that look kind of good. Yeah. But nah, I'm cutting all my old hoes off, and I'm only putting you in the song, which means I'm a faithful guy. And then he ended the song by saying, I think that I could be with one person. Is it going to bring you peace to just be running around out here sleeping with a whole bunch of women, breaking hearts, being a dog, right? Submitting to your lower self urges? Or is it better for you to maybe find someone that you can build a solid foundation with? I think is the point that he's making. But I love the lines that he's saying in here that sort of indicate the struggle, because that's real. Why does sin give you all the sensation? After he's coming off of, when I was young, I was running, like a chicken with my head cut off, right? Through the streets where the freaks love the red leather, right? You know what I'm saying? On my shoulder blades in my older age, to see the error of my ways, but I'm still not totally over the temptation. And then he said, why does sin give you all the sensation? So he's constantly saying certain things and he's walking it back, right? I'm saying, like, I want to, I want to fuck these hoes. No. I need to be faithful, right? I think that's real for a lot of men. So then he's painting the scenario like he's in a strip club. He's like, it's late and I'm getting impatient. I might run a train on Penn Station. We know Penn Station is a train station, obviously, but running a train has a lot to do. It's a sexual innuendo. Go Google.
Multiple guys with one girl.
Yeah, I was gonna say go Google it in the urban dictionary, because we in cancel land these days, so you can't say certain things. But he's got the Penn Station line. So it's late. I'm getting impatient. Might run a train Penn Station. Then he says, nah, I'm playing. I'm just getting wasted. So that's the constant I could jump in. I could, or nah, I got to be faithful, right? Same thing with Ryan, like Ryan touched on with the streets. It's like he'll have I've always said this about J. Cole. Like, he just feels I feel like he feels obligated to have a gun bar, because he knows hip hop comes from the hoods and the ghettos, man. And that is intriguing, right? It's enchanting to all of us to hear those like tough, those violent tales. So I think he feels the need to throw a gun bar in there, but then he'll walk it back as well. He did that recently on the Might Delete Later song. So him saying, I want to get a whiff of the streets, is exactly who I feel he is and what he's always presented to us. He's constantly been trying to ride that line with Balance being the good conscious guy, but still wanting to give y'all a little bit of something just so we don't think he's a dork. So I really enjoyed J. Cole's verse. I thought that this is a good verse by J. Cole. I don't think the rest of the rap game really gives a fuck if this is a good verse or not at this juncture, at this very moment, because he's got the whole J. Fo thing following him around, coming off the apology. But putting that aside, I thought that this is a very sort of introspective, honest verse, and this is just something that I expect from J. Cole. The song is horrible, but this is a shining moment in the song. Some
of y'all wanted us to do a reaction to the damn apology. You know what I'm saying? And I know people are doing that, but dude, the bottom line, man, George and myself have talked about this off camera in long detail, probably hours, to be honest with you guys. If we counted up all the time that we've talked about this, man, we both like J. Cole a lot. We think J. Cole is one of them dudes. We like J. Cole, we like Kendrick, and we like Drake. I mean, all three of these guys get busy, man. It's just a lot of things I think he is battling with when it comes to trying to get his point across and his art received, but still being valued, still being respected, and still being respected as one of those guys at the top. George just illustrated that he'll say something and kind of walk it back. Say something and walk it back. And I feel like that is just the GOAT conversation. A GOAT bar is just something you got to say as a rapper, because all these motherfuckers say it. And we know all these motherfuckers ain't the GOAT. We know it. You know what I'm saying? But everybody throws a GOAT line in there here and there, and this is falling off, and now I'm doing this. Stop it. You know what I mean? And I feel like that is what I assume that is what you guys are upset about J. Cole about. Like, dude, then why you say it? Don't say it if you don't mean it. You know what I'm saying? And when he did the apology, you're like, oh, man, J-Fold and this and that. And I get it, man. But all motherfuckers make mistakes, including you, including me. It's just the world can't see it.
Just so y'all know, a lot of shit that I want to say, I'm just not going to be able to say in this format. I just can't do it. Look, man, I'm going to address what I've seen on the internet. J. Cole has been talking about how he's the best rapper. He has been for the last 2 years. And to your point, Ryan, everyone talks about they're the best rapper, but it was different with Cole. It was different. You know, he brings up the bronze. He's talking about the big three. He's saying on the big three, I'm Muhammad Ali, numero uno, right? Like constantly coming off of this endless streak of cooking dudes and cooking features, proving one. He's literally saying, I'm gonna prove by the end of all this shit, I'm gonna be number one. I swear. When the dust settles and all this, it wasn't just regular boasting. There was a point that was trying to be made. There was a mission that he seemed to be putting out to the world on what he wanted to do and how he wanted to end his career and how he wanted to sail off into the sunset and how he wanted to be regarded. He didn't come off like it was just like, oh, I don't really want the smoke. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking. Like, nah, that's not how he delivered it. So for him to then have this situation where Kendrick comes and says he doesn't really diss him, but you know, puts everybody on notice that it's him. I'm the guy. For you to then jump out the window and actually full on diss this motherfucker and then walk it back 48 hours later is crazy. I'm going to let him live in this fire. I can say a lot. Me and Ryan a little bit older, so we're not going to sensationalize him being out of the big three and his career is over. Right. But I'm going to let him live in the fire, man, and save my grace for J. Cole for another video. I think he needs to live in the smoke because I feel like he is a leader of men. You know what I mean? He has formed his own little Dreamville empire.
That's true.
He is 39 years old. He seems like the guy that's very self-aware, very comfortable in his own skin. That has been his whole shtick for his entire career. Very he's sort of an independent thinker. You would just think, and he's been doing this now, like, what is he, 10 years in? I don't know exactly how long it's been. I think it's been over a decade where he's been pretty much at the top of the game and looked up to and influenced and impacted the game. You would just think that someone of his stature would not let peer pressure, would not let the internet get under his skin, and be able to just have a little bit more mental fortitude and not jump out the window and do something that he knew in his heart that he didn't want to do. That's what I'm most disappointed in when it comes to how J. Cole handled this. I don't think it's a bad thing to apologize. I think it shows a lot of courage when you're apologizing, knowing that you're gonna get baptized on the internet. It shows a lot of strength to be able to do that, but it shouldn't have gotten that far, is the point I'm making. I felt like up until on some competitive shit, up until the apology, I thought he played it beautifully. But, I mean, I don't know what you guys would have wanted from J. Cole in a battle. Oh, it's just about, it's just competitive. We know they ain't gonna kill each other. It's just about going back and forth from rhymes. There's no way that J. Cole would have won the battle or would have had any stake at the #1 claim had he not tore Kendrick's head off and assassinated his character and tore his man down, and tore his boy down. He would have had to assassinate that man's character, humiliate and embarrass him, and he realized that he just didn't want to do it. It wasn't that serious. That is what battle rap has sort of come to. That's just what it is. That's what we want. We want to see blood. We want to see people embarrassed, whether it's fair or
It's true though.
We want to see motherfuckers get embarrassed. We want the tea. We want the dirt. Drake lost the battle because of tea and gossip and shit like that. That's what y'all want. He should have known that before he jumped out the window.
Yep.
So I respect it, and we know, right? Like Ryan said, man, he's a good guy. But guess what? They're all good guys. Kendrick's a good guy. Kendrick's not a street dude. Drake is not a street dude. Kendrick is the good kid, Mad City. He's a good kid in a fucked up situation, right? Yep. You can make the same statement with J. Cole. And Drake, we know Drake ain't on nothing remotely street. We know Drake was like he was Urkel to Stefan Urkel. Yeah. Like, we know Drake's whole ascension. So none of these guys are street guys. They're good guys. And I've always said this behind the scenes, maybe not on camera, is I thought that the big three, these guys, were an evolution to the mindset of what we looked for when we looked at a great rapper as far as like hip hop is concerned. I always thought they represented a good change, positivity, being good guys. Our greats, as much as I love them, weren't necessarily good guys, especially earlier on in their lives. Tupac was getting there. I think he eventually would have truly gotten to the point where he would have been, on the right path and on a path of sort of unification and all these things. But he died in a very violent way because he preached violence oftentimes. Jay was a drug dealer. He sold poison to his community. That's just what it is. He did. He was a big-time drug dealer, and he bragged about the shit. You know what I'm saying? Biggie sold drugs, right? Yeah. Like, what else? DMX. We know how crazy DMX was, just to name a few. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of our greats had questionable morals and integrity. You know what I mean? They just did, especially, growing up. Now, obviously, they were young and they reflected the environments that they were in, and we loved those stories because they're authentic and they're real, and that's just what was happening. So we can't censor someone just because it's not positive and fucking kittens and rainbows. And those tales are incredible and riveting, but it also shaped them to be a bit more ruthless, naturally, inherently ruthless because they grew up in such trauma, right? Pops and broken households and all this other shit. So it just made them not give a fuck. So I say that to say, man, this is a different era. You know what I mean? We're in a different time. Drake, Cole, Kendrick, I think they just represent a different thing. I think Drake and Kendrick are going to get their shit off, man. And once they get that shit off and the dust settles, let's just accept these guys in this era for what it is. It's just not what it was. And that doesn't mean that it's a bad thing or anything like that. It's just let's embrace what I feel like these guys represent. They represent unification. They represent positivity. Change. You know what I'm saying? Man, rap should be positive, right? Do we want people to continue to talk about murder and shooting and killing people, or do we
then go out there and do it
and then actually do the shit?
No.
You know what I'm saying?
We don't want that.
So I get, as much as I'm disappointed, I want y'all to understand I'm disappointed in the way J. Cole handled it. And yes, I'm a bit let down because yes, just like anybody else, we love a good sparring match, verbal sparring match. We do, man. You know what I'm saying? But let's really bring everyone down to reality. J. Cole has done quite a bit. He is not going anywhere. His legacy has been cemented. This will stain it a little bit, just like the ghostwriting will stain Drake's a little bit, but his impact can never be denied. And one more thing, man. I was talking to Ryan about this as well, Ryan. Ryan's looking like, man, this motherfucker, shut up.
No. What's up? I don't even know what you're going to say.
Yeah. You're going to be like, this motherfucker, man. I was telling Ryan, I was just like, what's interesting, though? I was on the way to filming today. I was looking on X, and people were like, yo, J. Cole's out of the equation, man. He's not the big three. It really should be Future. In fact, Future should really be probably the number one rapper. I mean, he's had the most influence over the last 10 years. People want to be him. They want to rap like him. A lot of dudes try to rap him, take his style. They want to act like him. They just kind of want to be him. So his influence and impact should really put him in that conversation. Maybe he should be the guy. And I was like, you know what? That's a good point. Future is or has been very influential, and he has been very impactful. But the number one thing that we're missing here is that to be an elite big three or a guy in a game, you have to be able to rap well. So I feel like that just shows me exactly where we are. If Future could be even considered a number one guy, then we are in. Yeah, let's just let it die, man. What's the next thing? No, I'm joking.
Shout out to Future.
One thing I realized, though, man, going back to this sort of good guy thing, is the cool guys, the guys with the swagger, when we were growing up, were the guys that could also write very well. Right? You remember, Jay was smooth, he was slick. Yep. Biggie was smooth as hell, slick, just a cool cat. Nas was smooth and slick. He was the conscious guy, but he was still smooth and had street ties as well. We know Tupac was a fucking charismatic guy, right? Yep. He was a magnetic force. We know DMX was a magnetic force before God rest his soul, rest in peace, and rest in peace to Tupac. The drugs took their toll, but we know how smooth and DMX was. Go watch Romeo Must Die. He was that earlier on. A lot of women liked him as well. And they were the cool guys, but they also had the talent. Now, the guys that are the cool guys don't necessarily have the talent.
That's true.
They have the lifestyle, they have the look, they have the swagger, but their pens are in question. So I feel like that's another thing that's discombobulating everyone, because the guys that are the great rappers aren't really the guys that I think people want to emulate or want to be. They're looked at kind of like the corny dudes. They're kind of corny to people. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's a thing that's not talked about enough that I don't see. It's just like, trying to figure out who's the best and who's running shit. Is just like the motherfuckers that used to run shit were the ones with the charisma and the swagger. Not to say that Drake and J. Cole and Kendrick don't have charisma, but you know what I'm saying? That magnetic force that men can vibe with and also women can like. I don't know if they all have that like some of the greats of the past as well. So anyways, just some food for thought on that, man. I have a lot more to say. I know this is a long-ass video, but, we still rock with Cole. He needs to take the fire for a little bit, take the L. You know what I'm saying? Still looking forward to the Drake and Kendrick battle, just in case, with all that being said, we still want to see the Drake and Kendrick battle. And
I'm excited to hear what that's going to be about.
Yeah, that's coming, though. Yeah. That's coming. I don't know when, but somebody's going to have to jump out. They're going to have to lead, because I feel like there's a civil war. We got ASAP, Weeknd, and motherfucking Rick Ross and Nav, which looks very corny to me. I'm gonna keep it real. It looks extremely corny that if they are in fact dissing Drake, that they all just team it up on a damn album to diss him. That looks corny. It makes it look like you need you need a whole
You need-
team.
Yeah, you need the whole team to
You need a whole
to deal
team
with
to
Drake.
deal with him. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And not make about the numbers is all I
That's
know.
all I know. If anything, it elevates Drake. It seems like it's elevating his status as, damn, man, this motherfucker's just been winning for too long, man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We got to get this
I'm
motherfucker
telling you.
out of here. Like,
Or
stop.
did he do something? Did Drake do something? I don't know. Did he do something to piss everybody off? I don't know.
But even if he did do something, which I'm sure he did,
But it's still like
it
bad.
looks corny. I would never do that. Like, I would just never jump out.
Wait your
and try-
turn.
Right.
It's like you jumping one guy. Like, you
Yeah.
know, remember jumping people in the gang and shit is like 5 against 1 and shit. That ain't cool.
Yeah,
you know
just
what I'm saying?
handle your grievances. Wait till shit dies down and then handle your grievances later. Don't be jumping on bandwagons because y'all look weak that way. So I don't know how that's gonna affect Drake and Kendrick because I feel like Drake is like, well, damn, who do I fucking diss? Do I diss Ross? Do I diss Kendrick? Do I diss? I don't know who I'm supposed to be going at. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if he's gonna make one big diss track and just for 10 minutes and just destroy everybody, which would be some Thanos shit.
Yeah,
that
it
would
would
be
be.
cool. Like a 10-minute bar fest going crazy on everyone, I think would be amazing, honestly. You know what I'm saying? And legendary if he were to do something like that. Or does he just ignore all those other people and really focus in on Kendrick? I'm wondering how this is gonna play out. But I think that's why it's there's been this delay between Drake and Kendrick dropping because I think Drake is like, I don't really know what to do. Like who, or he's probably waiting for the dust to settle.
Yeah.
Like who else is gonna jump out?
Yeah.
Let me just keep checking names.
Yeah.
Also, one more thing, Ryan. Like I don't know if you saw this, but LeBron James was in
Oh,
warm-ups.
Jesus. LeBron James is in
No.
this shit? Oh, okay.
No. Well, kind of. Not really. But LeBron James was in warm-ups, and he was listening to Like That. He was like, you know, you saw him listening to Like That and shit, like shooting the basketball, and then Drake liked the shit. He was like, okay. Because you know LeBron and Drake are very close, right?
Yeah.
And Drake liked it. So like, okay. Like, I just think Drake is kind of waiting. Let me just see who else is going to jump out the window. And then let me just, now that I know who I'm dealing with and who's on this side, let me then just, let me just unleash whatever I'm gonna unleash.
But
on.
damn, LeBron can't even listen to the song.
Yeah, I know.
I listen to the song, Drake, and
We loved it.
I think Drake is fire.
Yeah,
I
we
listen
love
to
it.
way more Drake than I do any other artist. Let me put that out there.
Yeah.
Because he's just destroying shit, in my opinion. But I still listen to Like That. That don't mean I'm...
Like That is fire.
I don't know.
It don't mean that you jumping on the other
Yeah,
side.
but it's just a code that the song, and I said that when we did the fucking reaction. The song is off the chain by itself,
Without Kendrick.
dude.
With Kendrick, he takes it to a different level, but without Kendrick, that shit still bangs, guys. It may not have done the numbers that it did because of the whole, because it got to number one because of the beef and it's dissing Drake.
Right.
But it's still a dope song, and I don't think, just so you know, I don't think LeBron meant any harm by that. I just think that's, that's just, Drake was just like, okay, everybody in that moment, he was just kind of maybe in his feelings. And also, I don't think J. Cole meant any harm by getting on this song. I understand that these two albums are supposed to be everybody ganging up on Drake and dissing him, and now Drake was just with J. Cole on tour, and this did First Person Shooter. They had their little bromance. Then of course he joins this out. I don't think that's the case. I don't know when J. Cole wrote this verse, but let's just say it's a recent verse. I just think it's J. Cole's way of extending an olive branch to everybody. I think J. Cole jumped on this as a way to just say that I'm Switzerland, man. I want nothing to do with no problems with anyone. I just did a tour with Drake. I'm getting on this with, because I don't want it to appear that I'm on this side, and I don't want it to appear that I'm on that side. I'm just Switzerland. I'm just here to rap and do my thing. I don't want no problems. And, he's been very clear with not wanting any problems. So I think that's what it is. But anyways, that's the end of the video. For those of you who are still here, you know what I'm saying? If you enjoyed that, make sure you hit the like button. Obviously, follow us on our Def to Radio Instagram, DEAF2 Radio. Follow us there. It's a good way to support the channel. The information for that will be in the description. I'm George. That's Ryan. Las Vegas.
We out.